All right, guys. Do things a little bit different today. We got a game in the books. Minnesota Vikings beat us. I was really hoping we'd come out of there with a victory because they beat us in the regular season last year in an embarrassing fashion where we put up 0 points. I know it would have been a moral victory because preseason games don't mean anything in the long-term, bigger picture scheme of things, but it doesn't matter, man. I'm a Raiders fan. I want to see the Raiders win. So that kind of makes me upset. I think we should have been a little bit more aggressive in the fourth quarter, in particular with Carter Bradley. I think he should have gotten an opportunity to throw some balls. Instead, he was just told to hand the ball off over and over and over again. Why are we even having him on the field if you're not going to evaluate how he can throw the ball? He is, in fact, a quarterback, and the quarterback's job primarily is to throw the ball. That being said, we are talking about quarterbacks today. We're going to be talking about Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. And yes, it is too early to tell who is going to be QB1. And if you think otherwise, you're wrong. I knew it was going to happen. I knew this was going to be coming. I knew that as soon as the game was over, we were going to see, again, the clown car filling up with Gardner Minshew is the superior quarterback. Gardner Minshew won the job. Gardner Minshew is QB1. Let me reiterate something. It is an unfair sample size between Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew yesterday. Each one was allotted a single quarter to showcase what they can do. However, the quarterback is not in charge of what the defense does or what the opposing offense does. And because of the way our defense played and Minnesota's offense played, Aiden O'Connell only got one shot, and he had to start from our own 2-yard line. And he was able to drive us all the way down to the 4-yard line in the red zone. And unfortunately, Luke Getsy called a terrible personnel package for a back of the end zone lob pass with Trey Tucker as the receiver. Now, guys, Trey Tucker has shown some real flashes of being a potential great receiver in the NFL. But there's one thing Trey Tucker's not good at, and that's high pointing the ball because he's only 5'9". He's not going to outweigh anybody. He's not going to outjump a lot of people. Now, he does have a good vertical, and that's great, but he's 5'9". That's the wrong receiver in that personnel package. He should have been lined up in the slot and run a slant route. That should have been Brock Bowers. That would have been a touchdown. Aiden O'Connell threw a beautiful, perfect pass. Then third down comes. I'm not going to make excuses for Aiden O'Connell. He made a poor decision and got sacked. Instead of stepping up in the pocket and making a play, he backpedaled right into a sack. And that is one thing that Aiden O'Connell has to clean up if he has any shot at being a starting quarterback in the NFL with the opportunity to win games. It is a frustration with him. Now, during the drive, he did a good job. He stepped up and had great pocket awareness, but when we got in the red zone, third down, when it really counts, this is when Aiden O'Connell needs to have that Tom Brady killer instinct. He looks up to Tom Brady. He models his game after him. Well, buddy, you know who was really good in the red zone? Tom Brady. So, Aiden O'Connell, constructive criticism. You have to step up in the pocket in the red zone. You have to make a play. Don't backpedal into a sack. And that's exactly what happened. We kick a field goal. We score points. That's great. I love the fact that we were able to drive the length of the field all the way backed up from our own 2-yard line. But you got to get in. Red zone difficulties is the reason we brought in Brock Bowers to clean that up. You got to hit him, Aiden. you got to be looking for your playmakers, your big guys in the red zone. And that's what didn't happen. Other than that, he played lights out, very accurate with the ball, a lot of zip on it. Good job, Aiden O'Connell. I definitely going to give him a B on that one single drive that he had. Now, Gardner Minshew. Let's talk about GM. Let's talk about Minshew Mania. He had 4 series, 4 attempts to showcase what he can do versus Aiden O'Connell's singular attempt to showcase what he can do. And in that, Gardner Minshew threw a beautiful touchdown pass to DJ Turner. He threw another good deep ball to Trey Tucker. And speaking of Trey Tucker, one issue I have with him is he tends to lay out and jump for those deep balls over and over and over again. This is a pattern with him. Tyreek Hill doesn't do that. Tyreek Hill keeps his legs under him and runs to the ball, catches it, and keeps running and scores touchdowns. Trey Tucker needs to learn how to do that. If he keeps his feet under him, he might score a touchdown. Gardner Minshew did what Gardner Minshew does. He made some good plays. He scored a touchdown. In fact, in 3 out of the 4 drives, we scored points. But Gardner Minshew also had great field advantage. We had a blocked field goal, which really set him up for a good situation to score some points on, a good return, and an interception by Jack Jones, who, by the way, as I've been saying, is going to be a superstar in the NFL. The dude is special. Did Gardner Minshew do enough to win QB1 with the Raiders? That's the question. And my answer to that is no, it is not. He did not. If he had gone down and scored 3 touchdowns in his 4 series, maybe. He didn't do that. He had 4 attempts, 4 series, scored 1 touchdown. 6 out of 12 passing. I don't think that's good enough, and I don't think that earns him QB1. I think it keeps him in the hunt. I think because of his struggles in practice, he was losing his opportunity, and I think he reestablished the competition yesterday. I don't think he won it. I think that in Coach Antonio Pierce's mind, and I could be wrong, I'm simply guessing at this moment, Gardner Minshew proved that he still deserves a chance to compete. But because of the way the game went yesterday, you didn't see enough of Aiden O'Connell. If Aiden O'Connell had had 2 or 3 series in that first quarter and he wasn't able to score a touchdown and all he got was 3 points out of it, at that point, then maybe he's saying, okay, maybe Gardner Minshew is going to be the guy. But now we have a real dilemma on our hands. I was hoping that one guy would just be far superior with equal amount of series. And then the decision could be made and we could move forward with who's going to be QB1. But because that didn't happen, now we're going to have to wait another week. In my opinion, I don't think Coach Antonio Pierce is going to make a decision until maybe after next week's game. And I think what's going to happen is Aiden O'Connell is going to get definitely more reps, even if he has to play 2 quarters. Because you need to make sure, once this decision is made, you got to stick with it. You need to make sure whoever your QB1 is going to be is the guy. So I could even see Aiden O'Connell, instead of getting just a quarter, I could see Antonio Pierce saying each guy's going to play 3 series. And that's going to be the deciding factor. Honestly, if you take the one drive with Aiden O'Connell and the one drive with Gardner Minshew, who do you think is the better quarterback?